So we're live. So welcome to the Soul System Structure series. I wanted to create this series because I notice a lot of people are not talking about this because there's a lot of complexity that goes into it, and it just so happens that my gift is making complexity easier to digest. And once you understand this, you will gain more clarity on where your soul blueprint is. So I can tell you where your soul blueprint is. Nobody else can tell me where my soul blueprint is, but I can mirror back to you where to look within yourself, to pay attention to the patterns of how you've been existing, how you've been interacting with external energies, how you've been interacting with internal energies and all sorts. So you want to actually create your life around your soul system structure, because your soul system structure is what allows you to thrive, is what actually allows you to live in union with your limitless self. When you create a life against this structure, life becomes harder, you get burnt out more faster, more easily. It's easier for other people to harvest your energy. It's easier to tap into other people's voices and believe that it's your voice. It's easier to be manipulated. It's easier to get stuck in the matrix. You get the idea, right? So you want to really pay attention to the pockets of energy that are mirroring back to you where your soul blueprint is. And this series is going to help you with all of that. So we want to focus on 3 pillars. The soul system structure is based on 3 pillars. The first one is your energetic sovereignty. The second one is inner union. The third one is ancestral technology. And we're going to be going deeper in that order, because that's how actually you become in alignment with your soul system structure. So I don't know how long these videos are going to be. I'm just going to go with what's available within me, in my heart, and make it more digestible. But the foundation of this is to actually understand that for you to gain clarity on where your soul system structure is manifesting externally through you, is in understanding that you find clarity in emotional truth, not in controlling your mind, not in controlling and resisting whatever is going on in your head. It's not in projecting your ego. It's not in making yourself not wrong. It's actually in really paying attention to where these thoughts are leading you back in your heart, because this is what will enable you to take back your power from the external world. There's a lot of spiritual warfare happening, and it's been happening for a very long time. But when you're not in tune with your own energy, it is so easy to not be aware of the way external negative forces are tapping into your grid and taking and plugging it in so that they can use it for whatever they're using it. An example of this is getting easily triggered when you see a post online, right? And you go, woo, or you see something from the news and it ruins your whole day. Somebody shows up a specific way and you blow up, right? Someone is chewing a specific way and it shifts your whole being, right? These are mirrors to show you where you're leaking energy, where you have an opportunity to become stronger, to become more powerful. So energetic sovereignty is so important, and it always ties back to your emotional truth. Where are you lying to yourself? Where are you gaslighting yourself? Where are you allowing other people to gaslight you? Because being gaslit is you trying to push back and say and trying to convince the other person. But really, when somebody's trying to gaslight you and you know this happened, there's an energetic boundary that you can put to protect yourself from trying to convince the other person, right? It's all about rearranging yourself so that you don't allow that person to come within your inner world. And we're gonna be doing more about more work. We're gonna be doing more videos on this, on energetic boundaries, and I believe I have a couple already on this channel. But energetic sovereignty is tied to your emotional truth, and your emotional truth determines how energetically you're protected, right? Your energetic boundaries. Your energetic boundaries are determined by the thoughts that you're allowing to build your concept of self, right? The thoughts in each moment that you're interacting with. So energetic boundaries are determined by the quality, the frequency of thoughts you're investing into in each moment of time. So it's a very nuanced embodiment. It's a very nuanced embodiment, because this is where you actually start to reprogram all those areas that are leaking your energy. So of course, with energetic sovereignty, you really want to pay attention to how your energy is been expressed in each moment in time, right? So it's about being fully aware of who you're being. And for most of us, we do this through the lens of projecting onto others, judging other people, who are actually mirroring ourselves, mirroring back to those pockets within ourselves we're not aware of, right? So this is why it's so important to not be reactive, and to notice where you're being reactive and use that as a tool to come back within yourself and say, that's interesting. Why did I react like this? Why did this trigger me? Why did I respond so strongly? What's going on here? And a lot of us, and some of us, we judge ourselves, right? Because of course, there's this good girl, good boy programming from religious institutions, where we're taught that we need to be perfect every time, we need to please other people, we need to be love and light consistently. And when you're doing that, it disconnects you from the parts of you that are meant to protect you, that are meant to block out people who take away, who harvest your energy, who take advantage of you, who don't protect you, who and interactions that disempower your energetic sovereignty. And I noticed like a lot of people get triggered around this, because it's a really big programming that especially if you've grown up in religious institutions, that really I'll speak from my own experience. Christianity, I noticed in the people pleasing, the good girl syndrome, it was so big. And I even notice it, on a daily basis. I'm like, oh, okay, this is what's going on, right? So you want to bring awareness to what codings, what programmings are influencing your energy through every interaction, through all your actions and habits, through the thoughts, the frequency of thoughts that you're investing into, that you're plugging yourself into, what grids you're plugging into. Grids, I mean collective consciousness, right? Like on social media, there are different grids, right? So you could notice what posts you are interacting with and what frequency they are pulling you into, what comments you're liking on social media and what frequency they're pulling you into. It's very nuanced and it's very intentional. So when you're not very intentional with what you're associating your energy with, you're not really energetic sovereign. And this is the foundation of actually creating a life that you are that supports your freedom, where you're not feeling like, oh my gosh, like you're not feeling shame and judgment for going against the grain, because your soul blueprint, it's individualized, it's unique. So of course you're gonna go against the collective mind. That's how it is. So there's a lot of courage that is needed to break free from this mental body that we've been plugged into, that we have been born into. And there are different layers. Of course, there's the collective, in society, and then there's the family, right? And then there's like your when you join those two, they create their own collective thing, and that is usually conditioning, trauma. There's specific nuances that I'm going to go deeper into this, but you need to understand these foundational aspects so that it becomes easier to digest as I go into it. So when you are feeling misunderstood and rejected for your authenticity, what is really going on is your deep desire to belong, your deep desire to be accepted, your deep desire. It's like a survival mechanism, right? So when somebody doesn't respond the way you expect them to respond, and it's the complete opposite, it's like your nervous system goes crazy, like, oh, alert, 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 right? So I want you to notice every time that happens, what you intuitively do, what you do immediately to compensate for that. So whenever you get rejected and misunderstood, pay attention to the stories that you create here. And once you pay attention to the stories that you create here, I want you to pinpoint into your body where these stories trigger, hold, like where they build tension, where it's ouchies, where it's uncomfortable. Notice, usually it's in the heart space, right? You want to pay attention to the emotion and pinpoint the emotion, but you don't want to do this from the head. What you're doing from the head is just paying attention to the narratives, the container, the box that you're containing yourself into, that you're closing yourself into, right? That's what the mind does. It boxes you in. So, and there's good times to do that, and then there are times where it's actually working against you. And as you are evolving out of pathways that prevent you from actually living and creating from your soul system structure, you really want to pay attention to the nuances of how you go back into the boxes that don't serve you, and also being aware of the boxes that actually don't serve your soul blueprint. And you'll know, right? So what might work for me, it might not work for you, and vice versa. And it's always in the nuances. There's the collective grid of God consciousness, of what's good, the best for your higher self and for all of humanity's higher self. I'm not talking about that. That's a given, right? That's why we're here. It's the fact that you're aware that you have darkness in you. We all have darkness, right? This is my most controversial thing I've said. That God and the devil are within you. It's not separate from you. And those people who are harvesting your energy know this, but they don't want you to know this. So they externalize God and the devil, so that you actually don't come to where you don't come back to your God-given throne. So they've made you evict your God-given throne and externalized your powers outside of you. But these powers are really pointing back to your role, to your choice within yourself. So the reason why of course, the fact that you found my channel, it means that you're on the God side. You're not on the darkness, you're on the light side, right? And I'm not talking in the context of love and light. I'm talking in the context of doing what's best for your higher self and the highest good of everybody. You have good intentions. Love is the frequency that you want to live from and create life from, right? So it's not hate, it's not separation consciousness, it's not harvesting other people's energy, it's not creating power hierarchies so you can take from others and stay at the top. No. So you're intentionally not choosing the darkness because you understand darkness. That darkness will hurt somebody, right? You're intentionally choosing not to. But we want to, because this darkness, it's always there. It's always trying to just seduce our awareness and light and saying, ooh, over here, over here, I know you want me. Did you hear what she said? She said so, and then it creates a whole story of why you need to use this darkness to manifest, right? So you always want to catch yourself as it's happening and notice where it gets you, so that you can actually create a lifestyle that helps you pivot from there. So it's about becoming aware of where you're the most weak energetically, and the weakness is in your emotional patterns, where you get triggered and what yada yada yada, right? So notice where the darkness seduces you, and we're not shaming you here, because I know, like, with at least from my experience with Christianity, why I didn't feel really connected to my divinity, to my God blueprint, because I'm a child of God, right? So I'm not separate from God. God is within me. And they talk about God is within you, but they externalize God. So there's an incongruence there. God is within me. God has always arrived. Why are we waiting for something that's already here? So this is how they create distortions, right? And you're waiting and you're sourcing your power when your power is in your body, it's in your DNA, it's in your how you choose to pivot from darkness and back into light. It's all happening now. And you've created momentum through habits you've been born into your bloodline, and habits that you were conditioned into through society, through societal's brain, right? And through your own desire to belong, your own desire to not be kicked out of the, out of the group, right? So when you're aware of all these fears that are influencing your choices and how you interact with your energy, you become more dynamic in your ability to actually design what's best for you. So this is how you actually bring light to what your soul blueprint is, by actually paying attention to what is working against your ease, your expansion, your freedom, your lightness, your joy, right? Your freedom. Pay attention to the values that are really important to you, and notice what you're doing, what stories, what emotional triggers are preventing you from breaking out of this box that you've been conditioned into, and actually entering into the box that supports your soul system structure. So I hope this helps you. Let me know what gets activated below, and because this will help me also to create videos that support you deeply. And then I'll meet you in the next video. Oh, also, I wanted to say, so if you notice that your energy is being harvested and you're not sure of what your true voice is, so the journal Back to Your Soul, it's like an 11-day experience that will help you actually to detox your conditioning, detox your bloodlines conditioning, right? Those boxes that don't work for your soul system structure. So you want to identify them, and there's a way to use journaling. It's all about asking the right questions, right? It's all about having the right mirror to point you back within yourself. So I call it a frequency tuning, frequency attunement mirror that actually helps you to pay attention, to notice all these boxes that are locking you in and preventing you from actually activating your true voice, your most authentic voice. Not the voice, the external voice, not the demonic voices, not the psychic attack voices, but your true voice. So you can actually listen to it and use it to transmute all of this into your gifts, your purpose, your music, your whatever you came here to create. So journal Back to Your Soul. I will add the link below this video. That is the tool you will need to actually pivot from these boxes. Otherwise, see you in part 2.